Okay, and then we're going to go over to Texas again, but this time we're going to go to Leslie. Hi, Leslie. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well. How may we help you today?
Well, I facilitate a Bible study at church, and I have a lady that's 39
Mm-hmm.
and is not married and has been having an affair. And I'm just we spoke about this in her testimony over the last couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm wondering about accountability. What are tools to give someone for accountability when you were talking about not to after you decide to make the decision to break it off and not to make that contact to give the other person false hope, or
Mm-hmm.
yourself false hope.
Mm-hmm.
And
Has
I'm just
she
wondering what tools could I
mm-hmm.
help her with?
Has she asked for
This was a
accountability?
long. Yes, she has.
Good.
Yes, she
Excellent.
has.
And so she's saying, I
She
want you to
asked
help me.
the other women and I.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's desperate for some help.
Okay.
And this was a long-term affair.
Mm-hmm. And she's single. Has she ever been married?
13 years. She was married, and she had the affair while she was married, and then the affair continued after she was divorced.
Okay. And so basically, as a single woman, and if I'm hearing you correctly, and tell me if I'm wrong, because I'm taking a guess here, she's kind of had a surrogate husband in a way with this guy. He's been like the man in her life. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, that's true.
Which makes it even more difficult because it's like I have at least, even if I'm not married, at least I have some man I can count on, some man I can feel like cares about me, those kinds of things. That's very powerful. It doesn't make an affair right,
That's
obviously.
exactly what she says.
Okay. And accountability can be done with a group, but I tend to lean toward the Alcoholics Anonymous model, where that accountability does exist within the group in a sense, but it also has this one person that you really tied to. An AA that would be called a sponsor who helps you work through the 12-step program. But in a sense like this, okay, let's make a deal. And the deal is any time that you think that you want to contact him, you call me first. And we'll go over to IHOP, Waffle House, whatever you do that's open all the time, and we'll sit there and have coffee and talk about it. Mm-hmm. And anytime he contacts you, before you contact him back, you call me. Now, this takes a lot of commitment on the part of the accountability partner because it means I'm going to wind up being available 24/7. And if you, for example, don't have that ability and one of the ladies in your group doesn't have that availability, then it must become a group thing. But it's the kind of thing where you can't grope around, because if she calls and says, boy, can you meet me now? And you say, no, let me see, I'll call Sally. Well, Sally's busy. Let me call Ethel. Ethel's busy. And the next thing you know, it's been 30 minutes. Then she's probably going to have contacted him. So it means that if you're going to have that kind of accountability partnership, there's going to have to some kind of system that you set up where it's not taking forever that somebody can go be with her to talk her down, if you will. Now, is it possible to build that kind of accountability?
I think so. I'm a single woman, and I have the availability
Good.
to be able to do that for her. We started with blocking his number, and I know these things are all fixable. But taking his email out of her phone. But I think between myself and another lady in the group that we could offer her that and be there for her.
And so
I
now
know I can. I can't speak for
I understand. But the thing to do then is to get her commitment to that. Because if you make those mechanical things happen, which are good, like blocking the numbers, as you said, there's always a way to get around that. And so what you ask for, you look her right in the eye and you say, look, I know that you want to do this. I also know the temptation sometimes are going to be very great. Therefore, I want your word that you will always call me first and that we'll go talk. And if you go talk to her, understand that you don't have to have all the answers. Sometimes it's just a matter, Leslie, of just sitting there and listening for a while. You don't have to preach to her. You don't have to teach to her. Sometimes you will. Sometimes it'll be that. And sometimes it's going to just be feeding back to her what she just said. Okay, I hear that you're very lonely, and I hear that you feel that he'll be the fulfillment of that loneliness. Let's think about some of the things we can do. But it doesn't always have to be that. Sometimes it can just be sitting there over coffee, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, whatever, and just being there until she calms down. And then it's like, okay, you promised me you'll call me again. So it doesn't have to be this dramatic event every time, but it does mean that somebody has to be there every time. Now, if she will commit to that, and then she does it, always reward it. I mean, when she does it, tell her, that's very good, thank you, we're here. So it's really not that difficult, except that it calls for a lot of commitment. And if you and somebody else can do that for her, that is no particular magic tool here other than availability and that she really will call you. Now, the other part of that is if you find out she did it and she didn't call you, then the accountability comes not attacking, but the accountability comes from, hey, you gave your word. You didn't live up to your word. Now, are you going to do that or not? Because if you're going to play a game with us, we can't help. And sometimes it's going to be that kind of accountability as well. So thank you for caring about her. Can you do what we're talking about?
Okay. Well, yeah.
Okay.
I appreciate your help, and
you're very welcome.
I will talk to her about that, and I'm sure it will help her.
Excellent. I'm so happy. Thank you, Leslie, for caring. We really like it when people care. Care.
Carry each other's burdens.
because they care.
Because they care.